Hello, good morning everyone. Okay, today we are going to do another topic on past perfect tense. All right, previously we have done our simple past tense and simple tenses. So today we are getting into this topic. Okay, shall we? All right, if you can see the golden arrow, there's a word now. It indicates what are we doing now. Okay, past is something that you have done before now, right? Whereas for past perfect, it is the past of the past, right? The past of the past. Okay. For example, now is 6 p.m. Past will be 5 p.m. and the past after past will be 4 p.m. So as we move on to the sentences, we'll get in it better, right? All right. Moving on. Okay, these two are two simple past tense sentences. Right? The seminar started at 4 p.m. We arrived at 5 p.m. So how are we going to relate these two sentences into one? Okay, by the time we arrived, the seminar had started. So this is a example of past perfect tense sentences. All right. By the time we arrived, before before they arrived, the seminar has started. That means they have couldn't make it for the seminar, something like that. All right, so that's indicated the past perfect tense. So where are the phrases or a phrase that indicates the tense? Yes, had started, where it shows that the seminar had started when they reached to the destination. All right, we shall see an example of a sentence where indicates a short time. Yeah? Before her family arrived, Vanya had cleaned the house, had cooked dinner, and had watered her plants. So it shows that before the parents come, Vanya did all this stuff. So it is all done before the family is already at the house. Alright? So the blue phrases indicates perfect tenses. The purple one indicates the past tense. Okay, for a long time period, by the time Mithran got promoted, he had pursued his degree, had gained experience, and had worked for 10 years in the same company. So, long period means that for a very long time, he kind of did all this stuff. Then, after 10 years only, he got promoted. That is a long time, right? Okay, for mixed time, at the same time, when the new headmistress had appointed, the school achievement had improved, the teachers' bond had strengthened, and absentees of students had decreased. So, when at the same time when the headmistress been appointed, all these also been happening. That is what they are trying to say. Yeah. Okay, so we have known how to identify the sentences of past perfect tense. Now, how are we going to create it? So, to create a perfect tense sentences, we must have subject, the word had with the past participle, whether it's regular or irregular. Okay, if you look at this structure, we have the subject, which is I, you, we, they, he, she, it, and then we have the past perfect tenses, which is had arrived and had gone. This been done for positive sentences, whereas for negative, we use hadn't or had not arrived, hadn't or had not gone, right? Hadn't gone or hadn't arrived, right? As for the questions, the subject comes into the middle of the past perfect sentences with the aid of where, when, why, and how the question widths. So, for example, you can say, why had he gone? Or how had you arrived? So these are the examples of sentence structures that you can use. All right. All right. So we shall see some examples here. Past participle to have. All right. Okay. Nivesha had breakfast. Okay. How do you write it? Is it correct or wrong? Well, it is correct in a sentence when you are indicating a past perfect tense. So, when I left home, Nimisha had had breakfast. Okay, for negative sentences, Sanya hadn't had breakfast. When I left home, Sanya hadn't had breakfast. Okay. Lastly, have you had breakfast before leaving home? All these sentences are correct. So if you see double had, hadn't had you had, please do not be surprised that the sentences are correct. Alright, moving on. Okay, we shall have some practice. Before the plane took off, the passenger have found the seats. Yeah, not fine. Have found the seats. Had switched their phones and had buckled on their seat belts. Right? When she arrived home, she have not heard the news yet. So how do you change it? She hadn't heard the news yet. Next, at the time I joined the company, I was a salesperson for 5 years. I had been a salesperson for 5 years. All right. Next, he lives in New York since 2018. So, he had lived in New York since 2018. So, you have to check the sentences and try to see which past came first. All right. Okay, common errors. We had went to the mall, which is wrong. We had gone to the mall. Who had planned the party? It is actually who planned the party. They hadn't been there before. It's actually they hadn't been there before. Had you seen that movie before? It's actually you can say in two different answers, which is yes I had, no I hadn't. When we arrived, he went out already. This is commonly you say out, right? So actually it is when we arrived, he had already gone out. Yeah. That's all from me. Hope you understand. If they have any problem or question, let me know. I will post this slide in the group. Yeah. Thank you.